Hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful day for you guys to come and listen to the Sports Talk Show with Fat Larry, keeping you in the know. Today I have a couple of topics that I think are very important. But before I go there, I would greatly appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share button, and smash that bell for me. Greatly appreciated. The topics that I'm going to cover today, one of them being mental health. I know people are saying, what does that have to do with sports? Mental health affects all aspects of life. The business world, sports world, everyday people. I'm a big sports fan, as you can see. I'm producing a podcast show on sports. Let me indoctrinate you on what I mean, how it affects sports. My championship 2010 Laker team won the championship with a 3-point shot by the probably thought of person that would do it for the Lakers, Metta World Peace, formerly known as, I'm sure, with the Indiana Pacers, Ron Artest. Artest, after the championship game, walked up to the mic, to the podium, a reporter talking to him, and he said, "I'm just so thankful to my psychiatrist." Maybe you can remember that. My cousin and I laughed. But little did we know, he started something that needed to have been started long before. And that was letting people know that it's okay to have issues, as long as you can seek help. We laughed, but since that time, you can probably count multiple players that have come out saying, I've been having issues with mental health. Because we think that it's the person that when we drive under the freeway going to town, that they the one with the problem. No, everyone has issues. Lawyers, politicians, you hear it every night. By the way, give me a moment. Let me get something for you. I got it over here somewhere. Just recently, a football player that played at the University of Houston. Now, you're going to hear in my podcast coming up now and in the future, basically talking about people in the area that I'm in. I'm from Houston, H-Town, Texas. So you'll hear me bring up a lot of things about that. And I can just about bet that you can guess where I went to college. If you're looking at this podcast, I'm sure you can. So, but let me read something for you. A former UH linebacker is charged with murder. His small town asks, what happened? See, that's what occurs when it goes not undetected, but no one approaching the individual to try to help him. Here's a young man that went home, murdered 2 of his high school football teammates. A third one had left to go get some beer, and he did not get shot. This guy, hold on one more time. Now, I got to get my other eyes, as I'm sure all of you ones my age understand what I'm talking about. Here's what the paper says. A 6'3", 205-pound linebacker who started a career-high 5 games as a sophomore for UH in 2019 ran into academic issues and was suspended last fall after he was arrested, charged with carrying a gun without a license. Whoa, that's a red flag for me. I don't know about you. His coach and family members or someone should ask him what in the hell he was doing with a gun. He's in college. What in the hell does he need a gun for? So that should have thrown up a red flag. And you go on further in the paper. Another man, Shadrack Bailey, told police he had left for the store when he heard 3 gunshots. When he returned to the house, he had a brief struggle going in to see what was going on. He was going in, Gervin was coming out. So what happened was, after this, they say Gervin went to the home of his father, less than a half a mile away, told his father that he thought somebody was trying to kill him. Bloody footprints splattered on the wall, and that this may have caused, they don't have any idea what it caused him to kill his 2 friends. So this is just one of the worst case scenarios that can happen with mental health. And one more time, if you know someone, family, friend, teammate, cousin, try to help them. You know, and one more time, this had a lot to do with sports. There are a number of other cases that I could go into. There's the white basketball player in Cleveland. And I said white to let people know that, once again, everyone poor just not automatically qualifies to have mental issues. You got rich people that have mental issues also. And so this guy at the Cleveland Cavaliers has the same issues. That baseball player that spoke up. Guy signed a $100 million contract a year. Spoke up about his mental issues. So I just wanted to bring that to the forefront and talk about it for a little while. And hopefully people will take it for what it's worth and not trying to expound on someone's fallacy. You know, because we all have issues. On a lighter note, let's talk about another passion I have at this particular moment that is just filling my heart with joy. I am so happy to see this trend continue to take form and shape. The trend that I'm talking about, all my HBCU brethren know what I'm referring to. First, it was Dion that injected life into the Jackson State University community. Recently, Tennessee State just hired Eddie George to help inject some fire into their community. And I want to applaud them. I know some people are saying, well, they didn't earn the opportunity like some of these other coaches. Maybe some of that is so, and some of it is not. Definitely Dion did coach some high school football, so he does have that on his resume. Now Eddie George, that's a different story, never coached. But being a head football coach is like being the CEO of a company. All I got to do is ask my production guy back here that's running the show. He's giving out orders left and right. So what happens is, he's the new coach at Tennessee State, but he's got a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, special teams player, and he's hired an NFL ex-head coach to be his offensive coordinator. Don't you know he's going to feed off of that? Basically what happens is he just gives the green light for, this is the way I think we should go, Coach George, and he looks at it and thinks for a moment and says, well, okay, let's go with it. So I think Eddie George will do a great job at Tennessee State. One of the things I like that this has brought to the black college experiences is that we're getting more players that want to attend. As one great coach said, you can be the best X and O coach in the world, but if you don't have any players, you just a great X and O coach that has a losing record. And it is so true, so true. The guy at New England, the head coach, who I don't want to call his name, but he was all this and all that. Soon as Tom Brady left, though, you know, now he's shaking the tree. He's got the coach again now. He's getting all involved on draft choices and everything, trying to uphold his reputation, saying that, you know, I'm the reason for that. No, if you don't have the players, you can't do it. So what I want to do now is also expound on the fruits of the black colleges being able to keep their names in the paper. I watched a movie once. These guys were rowdy, and one of the band members was telling him, well, you know they're going to put us in the paper and they're going to say we this and we that. And the guy told him all publicity is good publicity. So what Dion is doing and Eddie George is doing at these colleges made it possible for this next piece of news I'm going to give you. I am proud to announce, being an alumni of Texas Southern University, Shaquille O'Neal's son, I'm trying to say both of their names at the same time. His name is Shakur, and his dad's name is Shaquille. So Shaquille O'Neal pledged to go to Texas Southern this past weekend. Now, he's not his daddy, but he's 6'6", and I think the growth spurt isn't over. But beyond all of that, the publicity already that is generated that Shaq's son is coming to Texas Southern, I bet you that attendance takes a leap. One, not only because of Shakur, but you know who's going to attend the games? Big Daddy Shaq. And so if Texas Southern has any moxie in their athletic department, whenever a home game is coming and Shakur tells him that his dad is coming, they need to let everyone in the media and the surrounding area of Houston know that Shaq gonna be in town at Texas Southern. You get to see him for almost free, $15 to go in the game. So I anticipate a big crowd from that. So this is what I'm saying. You look like Dion. Dion had so many players that came from D1 schools. South Carolina, Florida State, University of Houston, Texas A&M. You know, they weren't even thinking about this last year. So kudos off to HBCUs for understanding that to survive, they got to play the game and hope that one of the high-profile names that they get is able to produce. I think Dion is going to do a good job. He won his first 2 games and expectations grew and everybody thought he was going to go undefeated. Not going to happen. The SWAC is not a high school league. You know, they have great players. And which leads me off into my next segment of HBCUs. They just had the draft. Hold on one more time. Let me pull my paper, my trusty friend. They had 259 players get drafted into the NFL. Guess how many came from HBCUs? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. You got it? You're absolutely correct. 0. Upon further inspection, I found out that 6 players from HBCU did sign free agent contracts. And I anticipate 3 of them to make the team. This guy from Grambling, all SWAC for 3 years, big guard, about 6'4", 285 pounds. I expect him to do real well. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier, that these schools have to play that game. And that is, they have to get some name recognition so they can get money. It's all about money. It's all about money. These white universities say that, you know, they're getting a grand education. You know, but these kids are just unpaid professionals that are bringing in millions and millions of dollars. You put TSU's, Mississippi Valley's, Alcorn, budget into the plan, and you'll see that it's probably not a fourth of what Texas A&M budget is for their athletic department. And this is not to go against A&M, you know, because A&M have dedicated alumni, which I'm going to touch base on that too. I'm not going to let the alumni at HBCUs get away free either. You know, we're always asking for handouts, but if we would just dedicate some of our funds, just commit a little bit, then it would be much better for them. Truly. You know, some of these schools, A&M, I think one of my clients told me once that these kids sign a document they're going to donate $1,000 a year for 10 years. Some of them do it for life. How can you not have money? So it's not just about the handouts, but there is inequities involved. Don't get that twisted. You know, some of these universities get much more than what the black ones do. So there are definitely inequities. Real quick, because I know I spent a lot of time on these two segments today, but we'll get heavy off into sports the next one we do. But because I thought there was some things on my mind I wanted to say, and Alabama A&M University won the SWAC championship by beating UAPB, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. We want to send out congratulations to Alabama A&M and U. And I feel like next year they have a quarterback that should be drafted in the NFL. I'm going to wait and see what that looks like, because there should not be any excuses. This kid's name is Shaquille something. I can't remember the last name, but he is tough. We are happy once again to have you here at the show. Don't forget to email me, because I want to hear what your thoughts are and what you think I need to talk about in upcoming podcasts. Email me at fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. Please. And one more time, please help me out by hitting that subscribe button, that share button, that like button, and smashing that bell, so that every time a new segment comes out, you'll be the first to know. Let your friends know, and have a wonderful day.